welcome to Roll for Focus. With me today, I have my players.
Mars, pronouns he, him. I'll be playing Rokain, the...
Did your pronouns change, bud?
He said he, him.
It's okay. We just were not informed.
It's like if that's what you're feeling right now this afternoon, but...
I'm just apparently brain dead. But
That's
anyways.
fair. So, take two.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Roll for Focus.
No, you didn't have to go all the way back.
Never mind.
Just needed Mars to retake his.
Mars, pronouns he, they. I'll be playing Rokain, the little bitch, anxious mess. We've added more. Pronouns he, him.
I'm Cody, pronouns she, they. I'll be playing Ygin, our lovely Leonin single dad, who apparently has a penchant for trashy romance novels. And his pronouns are also he, him.
I'm Artemis, pronouns they, them. I'm playing Xelas, the tiefling sorcerer, he wants to understand at least something. And his pronouns are he, him.
He's asking for an awful lot there, bud.
He is!
I'm me, they, them, and I play everyone else in the world except...
Bob.
Yes.
Which is just knee in a hat when Bob gets
Yes.
Yeah.
as we've established.
I think what happened there was I was telling myself to remember Rokain's pronouns because everyone else does it and I have yet to do it. So
So you had he, him
Yeah.
going in your head.
Last times, questions were asked, answers were given, kind of.
Not really.
You guys found out about a device that would help infected people with the ichor free them from it, but also given the warning that some people have willingly embraced the ichor, possibly. You found out some leads, that there's something going on in Lace, there's something going on in Mus, and one day you will address those, but for the moment you all think there are greater things, such as training, researching, forging. So you're gonna have a day or two. Now, I'd like, if we could, like, I don't want to rush any moments, but when it comes to some things, like maybe like the forging of the necklaces and stuff, we might do just a few checks, kind of go past and like do more like minute scenes over like going day by day. What are you doing on day 1? What are you doing on day 2? And then having you guys make like general roles.
Okay.
For obviously, if there's a specific scene you want to have, words you want to have with each other, Kaxus, more than open to that. So I'm gonna open the floor to you guys on if you want any of that.
At the moment, nothing's coming to mind because Xelas just wants to try to
Train.
go work some magic and see what he can frickin' do.
I don't know how much of it is scenes that need to play out, but Ygin would want to talk to Kaxus more about where the fuck they are, since that still hasn't been established, and if he is going to be making things for the group, how he goes about getting supplies for that, and that's after whatever supplies he'll need to get the forge up and running.
Yeah, those can definitely be scenes. I feel like those can even be combined into one of where are we and how can I get supplies.
Where are you?
And I'm so sorry.
Not only are we all neurodivergent queers, at least half of us are also emo kids. Anyway.
Muz, what about you? Just doing research?
Well, considering the conversation that he technically needs to have with Kaxus, he is 100% throwing himself into the work and actively avoiding him.
That sounds about right.
Okay, then I might have a scene where Kaxus seats you out.
Yeah.
Artemis, Kaxus is helping you with the training as best he can. At least, like, observing it. But go ahead and give me, Arcana check with advantage, because Kaxus is trying to help.
That's a 3. And a 10.
Oh, no pluses?
Nope. I have a 0 to intelligence.
You're not super bad. Like, you're getting the hang of it, but it's slow going.
Yeah.
You've managed a few spells, a few cantrips.
I think he's more like, okay, is it supposed to be this difficult? This seems...
It's supposed to be rather natural. But
Alright, it's not coming that way, doesn't seem like.
I mean, you are doing it. It's just
Badly.
I wouldn't say badly.
Horribly?
I wouldn't. No.
Awfully?
No.
He wouldn't say it. That doesn't mean he's not thinking it.
I know Ygin was not there, but that'd
No,
be hilarious.
that was a
Ygin
Cody
said that.
statement. Egan's fixing his forge.
It's like, can we have like Rokain pass by with like a stack of books and just be like, everybody learns at their own pace, and just like fucking leave?
Yes.
Because he doesn't like that Kaxus was just like it should come natural, and it was like, fucking everybody learns at their own pace. Damn.
Yeah, Xelas is just like, thanks, Rokain.
Which just further shows the, like, issue between Rokain and Kaxus, because Kaxus wasn't like, it should come natural. It's like, I don't know why you can't do it. It's supposed to come natural. Rokain's all like, not everyone can learn at the same pace, but it's like, I wasn't trying to force them to be faster.
But you're
I just
definitely
don't know
learning.
why.
You're gonna be enough where you can, like, I'm not gonna restrict your spells or anything in
Yeah.
battle. Or make you roll for if your spells go off or something.
yeah.
It's just more difficult than either of you thought it would be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ygin, you were shown to the forge.
Mm-hmm.
It was indeed way out of use, but it was on a lower level of wherever you are.
Wherever we are, yes.
And I imagine you're just trying to get it back together. It's not like disrepair. It's just unuse.
Mm-hmm. But disuse can lead to disrepair.
Yeah. But I imagine with your skills, you're able to get it up and running.
Okay.
You probably had to spend that whole first day doing that.
Oh, and he fully expected to have to spend at least a few days, if not a couple weeks, getting it truly up and running.
And, like, it's enough where you can, like, if you're about to start, like, remaking the gauntlets or making weapons, that'd take more. But you can at least make simple...
At least, get a fire going to heat some metal to do some small jewelry work, yeah.
Yeah. If you want any other projects, you will have to spend several more days.
And his intent is to, like, slowly work on getting it to a fully functioning forge again, because he doesn't know what they may need down the road. And, like, yes, they might be able to purchase things and trade for things, but if he can just make stuff in-house, if he has the time to do that,
yeah,
it would be ultimately easier.
Kaxus comes on down. Well, you're probably working on, like, the chains to put the...
In his overalls.
In his overall... That's right!
He works in the forge in his overalls, and I love it so much.
He comes down and goes, oh, you have it up and running. I wasn't expecting that so soon.
Ygin just kind of gives almost a proud smile as he, like, pats the section he was working on. It's like, it wasn't in as bad of shape as I was honestly expecting it to be. It's far from, me churning out armor or high-grade weapons, but to get some smaller projects started, it's got good bones.
Oh, I'm glad. Whew, it's hot in here.
It's not as hot as I was expecting it to be.
Really,
honestly. It's for being underground or enclosed in a building as we are. I was expecting it to be quite sweltering to almost unbearable, but
it feels pretty unbearable.
Got good ventilation, apparently.
He kind of frowns at that, kind of brow furrows. It's, like, strange, but also Kaxus isn't used to forging. He probably has a better tolerance for it anyway. He's used to working in the sweltering heat. It's like, well, some level of heat's unavoidable in a forge, given what it is.
Is there anything you need?
Not immediately at hand, not at the moment, I don't think. Down the road, I will need a way to get supplies here, especially if we start doing any more intricate or advanced work.
Well, if you make me a list, in case you're not here the next time Theo comes, I can give it to him. He usually takes requests. If I have something specific I like.
Ygin gives a nod and kind of makes a mental note to go through the forge and make a list of what he'll need to get it up and running, and then any potential supplies just to have on hand to get started. That's another thing I've been meaning to catch you to ask about. understandably avoiding the question because there's other things at hand, but where exactly are we? I understand you may not want to share for the safety of this place, but if we're going to be spending time here, we should know where exactly we are.
I'm afraid you'll take it badly, which I know doesn't...
Ygin just gives him a look.
We are...
Almost like the dad, I know you're hiding something from me look.
We are on a small island. And
What was that?
we are on a small island. Well, underneath a small island. Just west of Dragon's Hoard.
He just almost breaks a little bit, pauses. So many emotions just flash over his face at once, but also his face doesn't move weirdly at the same time. It's up there with, Dad, I dropped my special dress in mud face, but worse. It's like, west of the Dragon's Hoard.
Yes.
All right.
Underground, specifically.
I was going to guess with the under an island part. Okay.
Yes, just a small mass of land west. If you were to go outside, there wouldn't be much room to go. Not that it's overly small, but it's mostly wooded area, and in the distance, you would most certainly see dragons.
Noted. All right.
Share this information, Ygin.
You're not there! Shut the fuck up!
Share this information to Xelas for a completely different reason. He's going to be like, and I go swimming, please.
We're on an island. There's so much water around islands. Can I go to the beach, please?
There's the dragons don't bother us, if that... Not that I go outside, but from what I understand, there's a understanding... We don't...
If you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you, sort of thing.
Yes. No, then I've... when he's here, we see one go past, because he can't come inside. But generally, they're never close.
Well, that's something. That's on it. I don't know what I was expecting the answer to that question to be, but it certainly wasn't that.
You see why I thought perhaps...
I think that's one of the more shocking things you've shared in the past 2 days, yes? Shockingly enough. Still think that's something we should all be apprised of.
I know.
To a
It's
degree.
just I was giving you all so much, and it is supposed to be secret, so... I know you won't put this place in danger, but I've guarded it with my life for so long that...
I understand. But I think it would set everyone a little more at ease, knowing...
The fact that Theo found me...
Yes, I have to imagine there aren't many wandering the dragon country.
I believe he got lost on a merchant ship. It sort of crashed. He found the hatch. Now he knows to come back. He has ways of coming here that won't possibly end with him shipwrecked.
Well, that's something as well. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what to do with this information now that I have it.
That's very fair. I will say the first time I came here, before I came inside, it was overwhelming.
What did you come from?
Oh,
If you don't mind my asking, of course.
no, not at all. That moment where you have so many regions in your world,
No,
you
no,
have
no.
to...
While you're looking it up, how do you spell Thiel's name?
Thiel.
I got it
Yay,
right!
I was
same.
close.
I got it right!
I did EIL.
That's how I did it first. I was like, no, that's not right. Let's switch those around.
Damn. I felt so good about it, too.
You were close. You were
You were
very
close.
close.
Yeah.
though.
We're probably still going to refer to him as Candlehorn above board for a while, but
Should we explain why?
maybe we can. Alright. Nee also has character art of Thiel, and they didn't want to share the name of him with us because they wanted it to be a surprise, and he's a tiefling, and the tips of each of his horns and the tip of his tail have little flames on them, and so from the beginning I've been calling him Candlehorn, and we've all been calling him Candlehorn, and Nee claims he hates it, but here we are.
We just won't call him that to his face.
I'm from Daichi originally.
That's another continent, I believe.
It
Yes,
is.
it
It
is
is the
another
continent. It is the continent of industry,
Ah.
science and magic combining, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get here then?
When my markings appeared, I knew where I had to go, and obviously this had been in my family. I knew, we knew someone of this generation eventually would. So a key, much like your own, except I appeared outside, not inside. Presumably because I hadn't yet.
Been inside.
Yes. I imagine if I had just come up to you and given you the key, you also would have appeared outside.
That seems reasonable, based on the limited knowledge I have of the magic of this place.
Yes. But I came in, spent a while just staring because I never knew exactly.
What to expect coming into this?
Yes, being 10 years old and seeing a dragon.
That's a lot for anyone, especially a child, yes.
Yeah. But then I went inside, assuming I'd have someone to explain things to me, to find no one.
Egan's brow kind of furrows at that. His head tilts. Do you know why there was no one here?
I assume there was a mistake. They passed, probably. Absorbed into Echo.
Mm-hmm. That's a terrifying thought. That's a Cody statement, but that's a terrifying thought. You die, and then your body and soul and everything just gets absorbed into Echo.
I don't really know how it's supposed to go. I know you're supposed to transfer your memories and your energy to Echo, but I don't think it's so much you die and you get absorbed. You probably go off to die knowing you're going to die. Honestly, I don't know. I wasn't taught.
Because there was no one here to tell you. Yes.
But I knew the idea of what I was supposed to be, and there were books to guide me, and there was Echo.
Egan just kind of gives a slow nod as he continues to absorb all of this information.
You're welcome to go outside. I didn't mean to make it feel like I was keeping you here, just
there's reason to be careful.
yes. They don't... never before has a dragon swooped.
Swooping
Being
is
is
bad. You can't set me up for a Dragon Age reference and me not take it. Especially not Alistair. Swooping is bad.
They've never landed here, but like I said, they've been around.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them land on other islands, which makes me think perhaps ancestors or something had an agreement with them to never...
Of this is our one island here for us to do our work sort of thing.
Yes, but that would be, at least when the continent, when the queen put in the borders and separated and made the deal with the dragons, perhaps the guardian at that time, if they were already residing here.
Brokered their own deal
Yes.
to make an exception to this one spot.
Yes. Not that humans haven't gone to Dragon... beings haven't gone to Dragon's Horde before, obviously. Adventurers and the like. It's not like they attack on sight any mortal being, but...
But it's still something to err on the side of caution.
Yes. I've certainly never had a conversation with one.
Probably for the best, to a degree. But thank you for telling me all of this.
Yes, of course. But yes, get that list to me. And if you're here yourself, you can talk to Theo. It might be a little bit of an extra cost since he's going out of his way.
No, and that's more than...
But I also have plenty of gold.
Mm-hmm. And most of it, like I said, is not a dire need immediately, but something to look to arrange in the future.
Yes.
To get this up to full production standing, and then the means of which to produce. But I will continue getting things cleaned up and straightened up here and get that list to you when I have it.
Of course. It was nice talking to you, Ygin.
It was. And if you need any help on your own side, don't hesitate to ask.
I'm not the one supposed to... You're not the one supposed to be helping me here.
As far as I understand it, we're supposed to be a team, which means we all have to help each other.
Another small smile and goes, I will keep that in mind.
I think if Kaxus allows it, you kind of like reaches to kind of clap him on the shoulder. Just kind of a camaraderie of we're in this together.
He definitely accepts it. He has a reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
He has a touch-starved man's reaction to it.
No, yeah. Both shuddering away but leaning into it at the same time kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, Ygin at least gets the sense it is not an unwelcome touch. It is not a...
It's just unused to, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not used to familiarity to any degree.
Mm-hmm. The most contacts he gets is Theo.
Mm-hmm. And at most, that's a handshake.
Maybe more.
That I know of, yeah.
That you
I
know
assume,
of.
That I know.
But even then, that's once a month.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a roll with your forge tools.
My smithy tools.
Yeah, with your smithy tools, just to see how good these necklaces or keychains or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's a nat 1.
Oh, buddy.
That's a nat 1 to make it a 6.
It's still that one.
I know.
Here's the thing.
It's an old forge.
It's an old
forge.
So here's the thing. You make something passable for now, but it's still probably better to just like put it in your fucking pocket because it might fall apart.
It's like a prototype, basically.
So like for now, you should just keep your keys in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's an old forge, and he only has his second best tools. You know?
Yeah, he has his janky tools with him that are good in a pinch to like fix stuff, but not make from scratch, really.
Except they're like, this is why I bought a new set of tools. I remember now.
Like, I miss my good set. I don't know when I'll be able to get them again.
Rokain,
Yes.
you've been studying.
Yeah.
What is your foci? What is your focus? Not foci.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the plural of focus.
Yeah. What is? Well, yeah. What are your focuses?
Well, at first he was like, I'll just grab some books, read through them, see what happens. And he's like, wait, I have a tool. And we'll probably see if he can call on Echo. And then from there, see if it can then locate books for him.
What are you asking Echo specifically to locate?
First is going to be anything on all of the ancestors, and then specifically he wants if he can find any journals, diaries, or any books on each individual. That way he can read about his. He's going to read about all of them, but then he'll like pass those books off to the other teammates, so they can be like, "Here, this is what I found on your." Your ancestor. Read it up if you want.
Go ahead. Because like I've said, with Echo, sometimes they remember certain things, sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a pure luck check.
Pure
And it's
luck.
not going to be like high or low. I like doing evens odds. We all know this at this table.
Mm-hmm.
A 16.
Okay. Echo ends up bringing you a few things. No, like, personal journals from the ancestors, unfortunately.
He was really hoping on that.
But you do find one personal journal from one of the earliest guardians. Yes. A little bit more detail about each of them. Again, this was one of the earliest guardians is still like 150 years after the ancestors were found. But they talk a bit about some of, because by then at least some of the legends were still around.
Yeah.
You learn little things. You learn that Hiss was a Air Genasi and just an incredible warrior. Like, before they saved the world, Hiss was just known as an incredible warrior.
I'm just picturing hiss, their name now, is like the hissing sound of air coming out of a balloon.
With that faint squeak underneath it.
You see a little thing about Azuna being a cleric who worshipped the aspect of authority. You read a little bit more about Droxin. Droxin is probably the one that has the most in here. She was a good leader. She was a folk hero. She was most closely united with the aspect of glory and heroics. Lucky Nod of the Barren Glade was known for being someone that always gave second chances and always lent a hand to those less fortunate. Was a tabaxi. And then again, Austin is the one that they have the least with. You do at least find out that they were in the days before they were a hero, they were a bit of a con man of sorts, and was a rogue. But a lot of the pages on Austin, you're kind of going through, and they're either molded or ripped out. I mean, there's some things that you're in here, some pages are ripped out, some have been like, this is an old journal, so like,
Yeah.
a lot of this you're reading, and some of it is like water stained, and you're like, Azuna Thorncrush was a, I can't fucking read that, you know. She was a very heroic, I think that's heroic.
We're going to assume it's heroic.
Yeah, that sort of thing, because of like water stains, mold stains, rips from, you know, critters and...
Mm-hmm.
Joke's on you, is actually heretic, not heroic.
Oh, no! Folk hero heretic.
No, that was Droxin, who was the folk hero.
Oh, yeah, I looked at the wrong person.
But that's what you learned from that, and I assume you share what you learned with the other two.
Mm-hmm. Again, and if there's any specific books, like, you would pass them
There's
on.
definitely, like, specific books for at least what they can do now. Like, you find some sorcerer books to give to Xelas to maybe help him.
Xelas takes
Like,
it with
Sorcery
this
101.
Sorcery for dummies.
kind of pain smile, like, thing.
My favorite reading. I
Just
can
like,
do that, right?
I know you were having trouble with this, and so there you go.
I'm just being, unless they're in common, you're iffy at common.
That's true. What are these written in?
They were mostly written in common.
Okay, fun.
If you need to, you can always come to me, and I'll read them for you.
Just have Echo read them to you.
Audiobook at night.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because some of these are ancient, and the only language that has lasted that long has been Common and
Yeah.
Draconic. And probably Druidic and Thieves' Cant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you give the info to Ygin. You find some books on, like, you notice that in the fight, like, he's more adept with his knives and stuff, so you just give him some, like, general life, you know, fighting stances for, you know.
Dual wielding for dummies.
Yeah.
There's just a whole section of the dummies books.
And as you're reading one day, there's a little knock on the wall, and you see Kaxus there, and he goes, Rokain, can we talk? And I think that's a good place to leave for a break. We'll see you soon. So yes, Kaxus kind of sits down across from you unless you protest.
He would not.
Is there... I'll admit to not being very good at reading people.
Mm-hmm. He probably hasn't even looked up from his book yet.
Do we have a problem? Have I done something to offend you? I'm only doing my best to try and help. If I offended you, I'm truly sorry.
Wow, he doesn't even know how to go about this conversation. Now he just got called out and he's like, fuck. I thought I was better at hiding this. I guess he just finally lets out a big sigh and then just starts with a question he should have asked at the fucking beginning of, how much did you see when I was in danger?
Oh, I felt your danger. I didn't see it. What I saw when you activated was you were doing sword forms, and you were and then a flash of you setting up a tent with someone telling you how to, because apparently you didn't know how to, but that's all I saw from you. And then I just felt your danger, and then the next thing I saw of you was you being attacked by those Ygins. And that was in person, obviously.
He's just clenching his jaw, because at this point, because you saw further in the past than, so he doesn't know if he can be mad at you, but he's definitely mad at himself now.
I have apologized for that. I didn't expect that. I'm sorry if I saw something I shouldn't have. It seemed inane, but obviously perhaps it wasn't.
So you didn't just sit idly by. You came as soon as possible.
Yes. I didn't even feel your location until you were in danger. I knew you were activated. As soon as I felt your danger, I used my guardian powers to guide me to you. I will never sit idly by while one of the descendants is in danger, Rokain. I will give my life for each of you. I need you to know that.
Yeah. Thanks for making him hate more of himself with that.
Kaxus saying all the right things, but also all the wrong things.
I mean, he no longer can blame Kaxus for his own
feelings of inadequacy.
And that's almost worse.
Yeah. He slams his book, and I need time alone.
Okay,
As he starts to walk away, he does stop, and he doesn't, he was talking normal, but, it's quieter, and he just goes, "It's not your fault. I'm not mad at you." And then he would prefer to go outside if he could find that. I don't know if he has located the way to get out.
probably not. You say you needed some time alone. He goes, thinking of what Ygin has told him at this point, he's like, would you like to go to your room or maybe perhaps get air?
I would like to get some air.
Okay. I do have to warn you where we are. We are on an island west of Dragonswood.
Was it loud enough for him to hear that, or was that under his breath?
It was a little under his breath, but you probably at least heard horde, and there's only one place.
Not quite as mumbly as he was with Ygin.
See, you've given him his interest, but he is also still really upset. So he doesn't know how to handle this information, process whatever his feelings are.
I can show you where the hatch is.
Yes, please.
You've hit the hyper focus, but there's other things.
But there's the depression.
Special interest, depression, special interest, depression. What do I do?
Special depression.
That's another
That's
shirt.
another t-shirt. Special depression.
Yeah, he leads you to where a hatch is. He unlocks it, opens it.
He'll just walk outside. I mean, he might mumble a thanks, but he just really doesn't want to talk.
Yeah. And then eventually, the days go past. You guys are training. You're outside a lot. You've been told by this point, Xelas.
Thank God.
Um,
Can he go
we
swimming?
forgot to tell Xelas where the fuck we are.
He would've- like I said, he would've
you
asked.
can go swimming, though Kaxus is very nervous about that. Just in general, just
Why?
Sea serpent dragons.
the island is safe. He doesn't know about.
The ocean around the island.
I'm comfortable in water.
Say after a couple of days, Rokain would have calmed down, and Rokain could offer to be like, I'll be out there with him.
Yeah.
Because then he can see the dragons.
Yeah, you definitely see it. I imagine Ygin goes out once or twice.
Oh yeah, like he definitely needs the sunshine and some fresh air himself here and there, especially spending any time in the forge, especially if it's running. He's like, it is warm. Not as hot as Kaxus seems to think it is, but it is warm.
He's also resistant to fire, but
But again, resistant to it and being used to working in it are two different things.
yeah. And Kaxus would like to come join you all.
I mean, he's invited to, especially if it... I know Ygin would extend the invitation of Xelas is planning on going swimming, Rokain's going out. Do you want to come out? Like, you need a break too, but...
I'm not allowed to leave unless you're in danger.
You're not leaving. You're still on the island.
All you're doing is coming outside. You're not allowed to go outside.
Well, I can now and then, but it's not
Who's stopping you?
the rules.
Rules
Okay, well,
change
to
over
the
time.
rules.
You can
Can
make
you
new
show me the rule book?
rules.
Can I show you the? I can show you. I mean, I've always known that I'm not supposed. I suppose if I just go off, I'm not leaving the island.
No.
And we are literally going to be there.
You're keeping an eye on us, if that makes you feel better.
That's true. So yeah, you actually get Kaxus to go outside.
Just Echo, can you get me the book on the Guardian's rules?
Racing.
Just get a big void stamp out of fucking nowhere. Just bah.
But eventually, after a few days, after like 3 or 4, he's like, you guys are like having breakfast, and he comes out. He's probably made all your meals at this point.
Rokain's
Ygin
probably in a
would
chipper
help
mood.
if allowed to.
Oh yeah,
Or-
he
or-
doesn't.
Not necessarily allowed to, but he would be willing to offer a hand because Kaxus is not their maid.
No.
I
Zealous
think
would
Rokain
help
knows how to
too.
cook.
That's fair.
Zealous would help too in the I'm bored with what I'm doing, let me do something different.
Yeah, it would definitely be he's not used to help, but he's not going to turn it down. And you probably have this is probably some time where you guys are getting more used to Kaxus getting more used to you, kind of maybe even some, oh my goodness, companionable conversations are happening.
Bonding. What? What?
Like just as you do while you make food or while you eat together.
Mm-hmm.
Kaxus doesn't have many stories to tell, but he has stories.
Mm-hmm. But there's also the Ygin cooks what he knows, which is stuff his parents made while he was growing up, stuff he learned from Chandra or Laxori or
Yeah, or things like with Kaxus, you can ask, well, how did you learn this? And it's like, oh, well, it's the one thing I remember my mother making. I don't know if it's the exact recipe, but I made it from memory.
Zealous would bring back fish and he can cook fish.
That's true. Little Fisher boy.
Yeah.
Mackerel Joe's.
That's never not going to get a visceral reaction out of me.
I don't know if he'll make mackerel joes, but
No,
he'll
no,
make
that-
fish.
That's fair. But yeah, while you guys are eating, he's like, I do, you kind of have a lull in conversation. And he goes, I do hate to, bring it up, but there's been some training happening, which, by the way, Xelas, I have to talk to you later. But there's been
Alright.
some training happening. And
You think it's time for us to head to Lathe?
You're in trouble.
I think it's time for
What
you
did
to head
I
to
do?
Lathe.
What?
You didn't do anything.
Rokain just ooh.
Egan's just like, children. He doesn't say it. He's just thinking it of, I've watched this happen with little Ygin and Zara.
I think Rokain is definitely warmed up to specifically more so Xelas.
That's fair.
Like with just like, if we're going outside more often, I think there's been more conversations. So I think he probably is starting to view you more as a friend than anyone else now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it's time to head to Lathe, yes.
Do you know where exactly in Lathe we'll be heading?
Kind of closes his eye. By this point, I feel like you've seen this happen a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Where he'll close his eyes, and you can kind of almost tell if he's sensing you or Icor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's still this, like, bluish energy that comes off of him, but, like, when he's sensing you or he's doing something about guiding you, it's more light. And when he's sensing Icor, it's a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
Sad thought, Kaxus.
What did Kaxus have as a sad thought?
I was like, what aspect does Kaxus?
Loneliness?
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
I would feel like duty's one of those.
Duty, too.
Yeah.
Duty and loneliness.
Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility. He goes, it would be more south. I'm sorry, I can't get more specific than that. I see a resort of some sort. I've never been to Lathe.
I mean, I've visited a handful of times. It's just across the water from Greenberry. I don't know if exactly where.
I can perhaps do a sketch of the resort I just saw.
That would at least help us know what we're looking for when we get there, yes.
It was more of a sign, but
Oh, that's even better if we have words.
Mm-hmm.
the words weren't clear. It was the design on the sign, but I can...
Well, it's still something.
Something's still recognizable, yes.
I'm still working on these abilities. I apologize.
No, it's fine. You're figuring things out as we are. It's not your fault.
Well, then, I suggest, I guess, you sketch it out and we should go get ready.
And we should go gather our supplies, yes.
Yes.
And you need to have your talk with
Yes.
Xelas.
He goes and nods, and as you guys go off, he turns to you, Xelas.
Mm-hmm.
I found something for you that I think I might know why your magic has been having difficulty.
Okay. What?
You don't have a focus.
I mean, I'm focused on learning.
No,
it.
no, you don't have a magical focus. Magic users typically need a focus of some sort to channel the magic through.
Why?
I don't know, Xelas.
Just Xelas, the 3-year-old. But why? But why? But why?
Excuse
Anyway,
me for wanting to learn.
I went into the artifact room to try to find something.
What's the artifact room?
Oh, it's a room full of old objects. Some of them, I assume, would be from the ancestors. Some of them from old guardians. Some of them perhaps from adventurers who the guardians knew. I have no idea.
I'm emotional. Like, why didn't you mention this earlier? That sounds cool. I want to go see this room.
I'm.
You're
That's-
not there to be affronted, Rokain.
I apologize. There's a lot of rooms in here, and I haven't thought to give you a tour of every single one. We've been trying to focus on.
Let's put that on our to-do list.
Yes, but I was in the artifact room,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I know it's a focus. I don't know if it'll help you, but he hands you a small pendant that has this intricate design around a amethyst.
Is it like a pendant on a chain?
It is a pendant on a chain,
Okay.
on a silver chain.
Okay.
Perhaps this would help you.
Probably holds it up to whatever.
It's
source
beautiful.
Yeah. Well, because those salvages, he kind of has
Yeah.
that eye of
Yeah,
that kind
it's
of thing.
the border around it is like this weird mix of like vines, but like in the vine, like this was delicately made.
Mhm.
In the vines, there are like arrows,
Like arrows from bows, or
like from bows.
Okay.
As if they had been shot into the vines.
Mm-hmm.
It's this intricate silver border with a silver chain, and then this beautiful amethyst, and like it is a real like raw amethyst. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xelas is gonna hold it up and kind of. I can't whistle. He can whistle. Make a low whistle. Yeah, that. That's
I'm here for
very-
Foley work.
That's very nice. Wow.
I hope it
Ooh.
helps.
I just wear it?
You just wear it, and as you cast your spell, hopefully automatically the magic will respond to you and
Help kind of
channel it.
focus it. I guess that's why it's named that.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. I do hope that helps. He's gonna put it on and kind of like tuck it underneath his shirt, because something that expensive is not. Let's keep that visible thing.
Yeah.
Ygin doesn't know it exists, but he wants to see it so bad.
I'm sure Xelas will be like, look what I got.
Maybe.
Or just after he successfully casts his second spell next time, it's like, oh wow, you're gotten better. It's like, yeah, I guess this thing Kaxus gave me really does work.
You all come back after a bit, I assume, all packed up, ready to adventure, and your armor, things like that.
Yep.
No, not in my armor.
You bitter bitch.
In a full outfit, at least.
Yeah, he's got his clothes.
But you all come out. Kaxus hands you each a pouch with 100 gold in it.
100 gold each?
Yes.
Okay.
Kaxus is the sugar daddy. He hates that I just said that.
And I lied. Yeah, Xelas would show it to Ygin fairly quickly, just to be like, what do you make of this?
Oh, that's stunning craftsmanship, as he kind of does the same thing he did with the gauntlet and everything else, appraising it, kind of looking it over. It's like, it's impressive how little they worked the amethyst, leaving it in as raw form as it could.
I mean, I can definitely tell it's extremely valuable.
Oh, and it was a very deft hand that made this. This took time. and
Yeah, this
effort.
is a master craftsman.
Like
made this.
even Egan's not that good. He aspires to be that intricate. Like his mom might have gotten her prize piece that close to something like that, but it was a once in a lifetime kind of piece.
This is a once in a lifetime kind of piece.
It's like, this is stunning. And he just
That's what I thought too. Kaxus thinks it'll help me with my magic.
Oh. Well, hopefully it does.
I,
I know gems and the like are typically useful in the act of casting magic, so
yeah, he called it an arcane focus, which
mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of spell users in the in Crosspoint, so
No, yes. Spell foci aren't uncommon amongst spellcasters that I know of.
yeah,
And that seems like a very potent one for the little I know.
yeah, I'm probably gonna keep it hidden though. I feel like that's probably
That's
the best
probably
thing.
a good idea.
It's worth
yes.
so much fucking gold.
Yeah.
Evan. Like, you can apprise
Yeah,
jewelry.
it's like that's a very expensive piece. That is definitely something to keep tucked away. We all just paused because Mars just awkwardly yawned into his shirt.
Very awkwardly.
I had to yawn. I didn't want to yawn into the mic.
Well, that's fine. It's just funny you're using a thin-ass shirt as a kind of barrier.
But you all...
Puts it back on, tucks it back beneath shirt.
Mhm.
Did you know there's an artifact room?
I was unaware.
There's
no.
a what?
Where did you come from, Rokain?
He's just like standing behind you.
You didn't see him behind Ygin.
Do you always have to sneak up on people?
I wasn't sneaking.
You surprised me, so you were sneaking.
Well, maybe you're just
He's just very
not
light-footed.
perceptive. I did it with his right eye too.
That would have been vaguely horrifying if it ripped out.
I think Xelas is chuckles at that.
But yes, he hands you each a pouch. He's like, you can see the artifact room later, Rokain.
I would very much like to.
I've already asked to see it as well. Oh yeah, and I put give us a tour of this place on our to-do list.
Probably a good idea, yes.
I'm sorry I've been neglecting that. It just seemed like you settling in.
No, but again, there's so many things to do all at once. It's hard to figure out.
Frankly,
to be fair, I've wanted to be outside more than in here anyways.
yeah, and
That's fair.
frankly, giving you a tour, I don't know all the rooms. Like, I'm sure I've been in every single one at some point during my years here, but
So it would be more of a group exploration than a tour.
yeah, I could give you a tour of some rooms I visit frequently, but some of them, like even your rooms, I didn't know when I was giving them to you what was inside of them.
I say Rokain, while everyone's sleeping, because he only needs 4 hours of sleep, has been adventuring
Yeah.
around as well. As creepy as that sounds, in the middle of the night, just like, oh, what's in this room? Oh, okay.
Oh, that's Ygin. Never mind.
Oh, that's Kaxus's room.
Those first couple of nights, he was
As
pretty hateful.
Mars just flips off the air like Rokain is flipping off Kaxus.
But he gives you each one of the transport beads.
Mm-hmm.
He hands you probably, I don't know who he would hand. Whoever's in the center, he would hand. Probably-
Rokain.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Hands
I raise my
Rokain
hand to the sky.
a picture. Actually, no, he would probably hand it to Ygin because
Since
Ygin says
Yggin's
he's been to
Lathe.
Lathe.
That's fair.
It's probably the best option.
Hands it. Go ahead and make a history check, Ygin.
I'm surprised that Rokain's never been delayed.
He probably has, but like he's in Makota, which is so much better than Lathe.
But as an ambassador's child, you're
He's
damn.
probably been there, but he hasn't like been there as a tourist. Like
That's
Yeah.
a 2.
Would I be able to make a history check?
I'll. But yeah, Rokain, go ahead and make a history check as well.
Ygin rolled like shit because it wasn't the resort he's been to. It's the other
So-
one.
It's a 6, but I rolled a nat 1.
Hey, that's worse than I did as far as that. I at least rolled a flat 2.
I have never seen this in my life.
Neither of you know. Like here's the thing. It's probably a
back.
resort that's too fancy for Ygin, but not fancy enough for Rokain.
That's fair.
But it does narrow it down because you know that it's not one of the ones that you frequent or one of the ones you frequent. There's a
fair.
few resorts on Lathe because it's basically Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine Egan's maybe been to 1 or 2 different ones, or maybe even 3 in his lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, you have the usual one you go to, but, like, one that you went to because it's more in the area you guys wanted to explore, or one that you went to because, like, ooh, you could splurge a little and get a little fancier of the resort.
And then another that is like more kid friendly, and it was a vacation for the kids kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like, you've been to a few, so you at least can narrow down that this is not any of them.
Mm-hmm. Plus, with that mixed with Southern, it's like, oh, it's probably more in this area that he's never really, like, he doesn't really travel that far into Lathe.
Yeah, like, maybe you have once or twice, but if you did, you didn't stay at that resort.
Yeah.
because according to our map, Greenbury is up near the northern end of Lathe.
Yeah. And Lathe is kind of a L-shaped island.
It's kind of shaped like Florida.
Yeah, it
Well,
is
I
shaped
can
like
see it.
Florida.
Kind of. Whereas we assume now this resort's more in the peninsula section of the Florida shape instead of the one attached to the country. But yeah.
Can I look at it just to look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
Just,
you don't
yeah,
really...
we all pass it around just so we kind of have a vague idea of what we're looking for,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Do we
But-
have a description of it?
It's very vague because Kaxus only got so much.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
But it seems to have a mermaid sort of symbology to it, like a mermaid and a clam. But yeah, it's not one of the handful that Ygin has been to. And I feel like Rokain's only ever stayed at one, and it's like the best of the best.
But it's
Of
still
course.
like slumming it for his family
Damn.
Versus more Corta.
versus more Corta, yeah.
Again, it's Hawaii versus big city.
It was different than the big city, so Rokain enjoyed it in either way.
But yes, you are all given your goal, given the illustration from Kaxus. You're each probably given a... He's still too awkward with touch to, like, hug you. But, like, a firm, like, be safe sort of pat on the backs and stuff. He's worried. He's sending you out.
No, more so, I think if he did that, Xelas would think it's going to be a hug and move for, like,
yeah,
a
I
hug.
think he almost moves, but he's awkward about it, so, like, he doesn't.
Yeah, and then realizing what's happening, Xelas would be like, oh shit, and back off again.
I feel like it's just going down the line, and I feel like for some reason Ygin's in the middle, so he like watches the awkward interaction between Kaxus and Xelas, and then just preemptively like offers his hand for like not as professional as like a handshake, but like just kind of a
maybe a little bit of even like clasp,
clasped forearms kind of
the
brothers in arms
arms
kind of handshake, yeah.
Predator handshake.
Rokain had the immediate reaction of "Don't hug me."
And Rokain just gets a really awkward like shoulder.
No, he'll do like a proper like
handshake.
like yeah.
Xelas feels embarrassed
But given
now.
all that, you've all been given your beads.
The ones that let us teleport around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
And you push them, and when you are aware once more, you are in the southern part of Lathe. And that is where we will end our session.
Just in
Hey,
time.
that was pretty good.
All right, everyone. I hope you all had fun. I'm pretty sure we have nothing to plug except for our Patreon. Go follow it. There you can hear us talk about this episode, hear us do random stuff. It's going to be so fun. You should come join us. Why haven't you joined us? You guys have a great day. And remember, play to your you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Roll for Focus from Campaign 1 Ouroboros. This episode was edited by Cody. Transcriptions are by Artemis. Character art is by Miajik, also known as Fiesta TB. She can be found at linktree/Miajik. That's MEDEKH. You can visit us at rollforfocus.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and TikTok at Roll for Focus. If you want to do more to support us, for as little as $1 a month, you can join our Patreon, Roll for Focus Podcast. Get exclusive looks at character sheets, ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, monthly extra content, give fan submissions for names or items, shoutouts at the end of the episodes, and more.
Hey everyone, Emery here. We're so thankful to everyone that supports us by even just listening, rating, and sharing our podcast. We wouldn't be able to do this without our audience support. And we're especially grateful to those who go above and beyond and subscribe to our Patreon. Like those that have found enlightenment and know it's best to play to your you. Like Luchik and MN House of Cats. Thank you guys so much.
Screw the rules, you have money. Anyway.
You can...
Wait,